and and my name is British Squid, as you know, and this is
Extra Jack 70 every time.
Fingers. So here this is our first episode. We actually had done a podcast
we did
last week.
We did a podcast last Thursday, but there was a lot of background noise. We had some trouble even getting the microphone to work. It went on for a while. 2 solid hours of us talking. Kind of towards the end, I guess it was taking so long that it got to the point where we started talking about other things, but we were
What are we talking about? Random noises. That's what we do.
Lots of games to talk about. We wanted to talk about kind of the upcoming things that are happening in the means of like video games this year. Kind of what's already come out.
Yeah. I mean, also stuff that you're looking forward to in some of these games. I know you were talking about World War Z earlier.
Oh yeah, okay. World War Z. It just reminds me a lot of Left 4 Dead, which is why I've been trying to get you to download it so much. Is because I just got it 2 days ago. So I got it 2 days ago, and it's a lot like Left 4 Dead, except for a little more edge of your seat kind of gameplay. It's all third person. I think that's the only like kind of negative thing I have to say about it, is that the entire thing is third person. So if you're going from like playing Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 to World War Z, that's gonna take some getting used to.
Adjustment.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just like, I mean, it's like Left 4 Dead in the fact that, I mean, it's you and it's a team of 4.
It's gonna play how it's supposed to be played, I guess.
And everyone plays as an individual character, but there's classes now. You have like medics. I don't actually remember the names of all the classes. I probably should look into that a little bit.
You don't have the classes for the Left 4 Dead or
no, for World War Z. Okay. Because in Left 4 Dead you didn't have classes. You just played as people.
You want to play with,
yeah. But in this one, thankfully you can play as anyone and change the class of that person. There's like, I want to say there's like 12 or more characters that you can play as. I think starting off you only get 4.
Early when you were showing on the screen, it showed, I think it looked like either a 4x4 grid with all the characters, or it could have been a 4x3, but most likely it's going to be 4x4, because that would actually make
it
more
definitely
sense.
It seems like it was more
for
than
being
12.
more evened out when it comes to all the characters that you could normally actually play with.
So really, you don't have to play as one particular character to have the class. You get to pick whatever class you want. You can play as one character and play as this class. You can even start with specific weapons if you choose to.
And anyways, let me double check this real quick because
this is going really well.
We're still good. And what was I saying?
You were talking about Dead by Daylight and how you've got the one guy that's trying to murder everyone, and everyone has certain perks,
yes.
but Austin gets thrown onto hooks and gets stuck there trying to fight their way off the hook from time to time.
So what I played it a few times that I actually played it, which I think this game was better than Friday the 13th game, which was free for the PlayStation for a little bit. Yeah, it came out. It was free.
It really bad. I mean, now it's.
But I mean, I don't know if it's free now. But of course, you have Xbox, so it's just one of those things. Yeah. But definitely enjoy the game a lot. I wish I played it a little bit longer. But I mean, it's just one of those things. And welcome to all the viewers. Somewhat. And it's in 5 minutes ago.
Oh gosh.
Let me double check over here. There we go. Anyways, thanks everybody who's tuning in. This is podcast episode 1.
Episode 1.
So if you don't know who I am, Bearded Squid Ink, and this is
Extra Jackson. Okay. You probably know both of us,
hey.
Especially him.
You probably heard a lot of his voice in some of my Twitch channel gameplays. He's probably the guy that killed me after I killed him. But that's definitely was a different story, even though I was begging for help. But you know what? Whatever, okay? Anyways, long story short, Left 4 Dead was an amazing game. I loved it. I played it. I beat it. And definitely looking for the new game, which you know more about, which is I just actually showed me the
Yeah, I was showing you the trailer of World War Z because...
Hello, Chelsea. Welcome.
But so in Left 4 Dead, it felt like whenever the hordes came after you, you had the special zombies, you had like the boomers and whatnot in Left 4 Dead that would either vomit on you or they would blow up and they would get on you anyways.
Typical Monday.
And they would attract a horde of zombies towards you. But the hordes of zombies in Left 4 Dead they're so small compared to the hordes of zombies in World War Z. Because in World War Z, you're looking at zombies there's so many zombies coming after you, you're seeing them, they're filling up entire highways rushing at you. And they're like falling off of buildings. I've only played like the first level, so it's really all I have to go off of personally.
Oh, because you actually bought it, right?
Yeah, I bought it 2 days ago. So it is, I am having a ton of fun just playing by myself. I will say that whenever you play, like, in Left 4 Dead, you could tell someone, like, oh, hey, there's a gun over here. Like, through just basic game commands. You didn't have to actually have a microphone. You could just say, hey, there's a gun here. See, I don't know if you can do that in World War Z. I was trying to figure out the other day. I was trying to get my teammates, they're all NPCs. I was trying to get them to pick up certain weapons, because all of them were just using their pistols that they had. And I couldn't get them to do anything. I kept trying to get them to pick up weapons, and they wouldn't do it. I kept trying to get them to pick up med kits and all that stuff. There'd be moments where I'd get hurt, and I would use the command to ask them for help, and they wouldn't heal me at all.
Kingdom Hearts.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
well, a lot of them would, like Goofy or Donald, would try to get healed, and you wouldn't get healed when you're supposed to get healed.
Yeah,
they're saved, you know.
They
like,
were.
You're going against the wall, Goofy. Like, whoa. Like, get over here.
Yeah, and it was. I guess it was irritating because we would go through this giant, like fighting an army of zombies, honestly. We get done, and I'm pretty close to death, and I ask for a teammate to heal me, and all three of them kind of just shift and look at me, and then just go back to whatever they were doing. And they are efficient killers. I'll say that they kept a decent amount of zombies off of my back on their own.
Minigun.
But
how terrifying!
Well, they didn't have a minigun.
What?
Oh, you talking about like the silenced pistols?
Yeah, the default gun they come with.
Oh, well, I mean, everyone starts with like...
Pick up this rocket launcher. Yeah. I have my little gun.
Yeah, it was...
I'm good.
That was all that was happening, was they have their primary weapon, and then they have their pistol. And everyone has a silenced pistol, so that way you can kill zombies without attracting them. But if you, like, shoot the wall on accident, or if you shoot them but you don't shoot them in the head, then the zombies are going to come after you because they heard you. You are so bad at spelling podcast. He's had to... Earlier, he was trying to spell podcast, and it took him like 6 or 7 tries. You would either put a capital D, or he would get rid of the D and then put it after the C, or he would put like an S. He was bad at it.
Sorry, my English is terrible.
Anyways. So, the game's a ton of fun.
Right? What?
The game's a ton of fun. Huge multiplayer game. Personally, I think it would be a ton of fun to play with someone else because they would actually heal me. That would be super great if I wasn't the only one picking up med kits.
Which is actually what happened to me yesterday. I was playing Extreme Apex for like an hour yesterday.
Yeah.
And Chelsea, if you're still here, I saw your message, but my gameplay didn't play or chat thing, whatever. Anyways, because I had it in 2 different areas. Anyways, so apologies about that. So I had died. I was all very sneaky. I was going around the map. I was gonna flank. I saw the guy. Took out my gun. I shot the guy. Well, actually, I thought I shot the guy. I actually shot more like the wall of his left and his right. I tried to aim, whatever. I had a shotgun, which I should have used.
Doesn't it have number indicators whenever you shoot?
Yeah, when you shoot, like, I mean, at least the wall has number indicators. That definitely did. It's not Fortnite, so the wall didn't eradicate itself. But my teammates actually took the time, because on Apex, if you played it long enough, where I found out where you can actually get their go to their grave or wherever they died. You pick up like this little
yeah, and you can bring them back.
We can back. He took the time. He killed that. They killed everybody.
If you played it long enough,
I mean, I only played it a couple times. So I don't know.
I played the tutorial and it told me that.
True, but I'm saying like I didn't know how long ago that was. That
only veteran players know about that.
Veteran players know
that
that
bring people back.
Well, the thing is, like, most people don't take their time to actually like, oh, let's heal. So even though you're saying like, yeah, you can play with real players per se, doesn't mean they're gonna take the time out of their I might die situation to actually go heal you.
There are a lot of
unless you're playing with friends and you know you get killed instead. No pun intended. Anyways, Rainbow Switch. But they were nice enough to go back, heal me, res me, and all that stuff. They even dropped a lot of like health kits and stuff for me to get health back.
Yeah,
I did see an Apex player, and it was actually on a Facebook video, and he had I forgot the names, but it had an ability where you can kind of like res yourself almost. Yeah. And a lot of the other players dropped a lot of loot for him to pick up after he came back to life.
Yeah.
And you know, he was like, "Oh, it's so nice, thank you." So as soon as he came back to life, they all shot him dead. Like, so he ended up dying twice. It just, you can't really trust playing with randoms, I guess.
Yeah,
I think this is a topic, but even playing with friends, it becomes more of a trauma.
There was a problem when Apex launched where people were so dedicated to get, like, I guess, flawless games where it wouldn't go down or anything. Like, they wanted to play the game where they started, they got their stuff, they took everyone out, they win the game. There were so many, if you were just hopping in with randoms, there would be moments where, like, if someone died right at the beginning of the game, they just quit. So you and your squad would dwindle down to just you because these 2 other guys would die and just quit because they were upset about it. So then it's just you playing squads alone. You know, that's not going to go well. Usually. I'm sure there's people out there. I'm not one of them. And you are not either.
I'll
speak for you.
I usually try to stay to the end. If not, like, it's good to see how other players play, especially a game that you're not used to. Like Apex, I'm not used to. Like I don't know much of the guns. I honestly say that whenever they were talking about triple take, I thought there was a strategy like, yo, let's do the triple take. But I actually found out it's actually a gun in the game.
The triple take.
And actually I thought it was one of the better guns that I've used so far in the game. If you watch my stream from yesterday, if you go towards the end, you can actually see me hitting people, and I was really excited. I was like, "Ooh, health's going down." You know, I don't think they gave me the kill, but it said that I killed somebody, but so I'll take it.
You sure you didn't down them?
No, it said eliminated.
Oh, well then you killed someone. Then I don't know why you're questioning it.
But because at the end when it shows the little scorecard, it showed 0. But I had the most damage done to players, so I mean, I guess I'll take it.
When you kill someone, if they bring them back, does it take your kill away?
I mean, they might have bringing them back because there was definitely the guy that I was with, Ling1010, and then we had another player that was with. I remember the name. The
Must
other
be
player,
traumatizing.
the other player that we're with, he left, so it was just us two. I think we would have done fine. The third player would have been there, but me and the other guy were like pretty much noobs, so we were kind of just trying out the game. I basically am leveled up on Xbox, PS4, PC at this point, and if I had it for Switch, and I've already had it for Switch too. Luckily for like Fortnite, which season 9 just started, but Fortnite itself has been doing some weird things lately. Like, do you see those balls they're in now?
Yeah.
They have like the world tournament, whatever. I'm gonna click this out. Let me see. It was bothering me. They had like the tournament or major thing, whatever, and it was a big parade of just balls everywhere. I mean, it was pretty.
A big parade of balls everywhere in Fortnite.
Gay butts.
This is what it has come down
It
to.
became like it almost became like a joke because people were in these like pod things that were just kind of like just running around, and so it took a lot of people to kill other players. And I actually downloaded the update for the PC, and I tried playing. I was running around doing my thing, and the ball just hits him in the face. Guy comes out, shoots me, gets back in the ball, and like takes off. What?
All right.
I mean, what happened? I mean, I know Fortnite itself is not as simplistic as it seems. Build a wall, shoot things, build ramps, shoot things, whatever. But now they've made it where like I keep adding vehicles in a way that they're not belong there.
Yeah, the whole kind of concept, like if you play Fortnite, if you don't ever build, then you're not gonna get very far if you don't figure out how to build. But because of that, there's the problem where when you're trying to play Fortnite and you finally get that good shot on someone, you might not like one hit kill, but you know, you shoot him, you get, you know, a decent amount of health taken out of them.
I prefer
and then they
being
build
more.
a tower up.
I prefer being more of the shooter of the group. Like, I'd rather play with people that know how to build. So more either the distraction or just the finisher. Like that's. Yeah. I tried going to like creative mode and like practicing my building stuff, and I think I do okay. I mean, compared to some people that have been playing this game since day one, you have a Psycho Cougar. He's been playing for a very long time. He's a really good player that I played with, and it just, you know, just have to play those type of players that just know how to play the game and haven't stopped, and then that's cool. Like the only like full season that I actually played was season 6. And a little bit of season 7, just because they had the werewolf skin on season 6. Yeah. And season 7 had like the ice thing, whatever. And then after that, it just got weird. And I haven't seen any skin. I do regret not buying the squid pickaxe thing. They had a squid one. I ended up buying the octopus one, but I missed out on the squid one.
You guys do not know how many times I've heard him talk about this freaking pickaxe. He really wanted it.
It needs to come back.
Really.
And I don't pay enough attention to be like, oh, it's back. But I do want to build me one, like a real one day. One good day. Anyways.
Quick side note. I know we were talking about video games, but I'm going to jump to anime real quick. I'm sure there's plenty of people that have seen it, but have you watched The Rising of Shield Hero?
No.
You haven't?
No.
It is a wonderful anime. I'm not going to spoil anything because it's still an ongoing
what is it
anime. The Rising of Shield Hero. Basically, it's
Did you talk to me about it before?
I might have. I don't know. I just started watching it like less than a week ago, and we're already caught up. And it's like episode 18 just came out yesterday. So basically, it starts out the same way a lot of successful animes start out, surprisingly, where it's some guy in the modern world just doing some random stuff, just living his life. And then one day something happens, and then he ends up in this fantasy world or whatever. Well, it involves this story that he actually reads about while he's in the real world of there's a bow hero, shield hero, sword hero, and a spear hero. And he gets summoned there to this fantasy world, and he finds out that he's the shield hero, and he got summoned by a bunch of other or he got summoned there with a bunch of other guys from alternate worlds.
It's remind you watched Dungeons and Dragons.
Really, really cool. No,
you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
The original Dungeons and Dragons, like.
I mean, I've heard of it, but no, I haven't like watched it.
That's what remind me of whenever they're go to a roller coaster, they get transported into like Dungeons and Dragons kind of.
I think it's called Land of the Lost. I'm just messing with you. No, that was just playing with you.
That sounds like another anime.
It is really, really cool because since he's the shield hero, he's all defense. And I'll say this, and it's not a crazy. Actually, I would hardly even say it's a spoiler at all. It doesn't. I mean, it explains something, but since he's the shield hero and he's the hero of defense, the the fantasy world doesn't allow him to pick up weapons. When he goes to it, like shocks him, like it doesn't let him hold them. So he's stuck with only his shield. But the heroes, all of their weapons can perks, like they can get perks. It's just really cool.
So it's just saying like if the other ones, like if there was a sword hero, I guess what you're saying, they can only pick up swords per se, right?
Yes, it doesn't actually explain that. It just explained like he went to go pick something up, and like he went to go pick up a sword so that he could defend himself.
Yeah,
it didn't work. So he only has the shield.
But I mean, like as a shield, I mean, if it's heavy or
it's like
you can charge with it.
It's an itty bitty little shield.
I thought it was like.
I mean, it transforms. I really don't want to get too far into it because it is an ongoing anime and it's awesome. But it's just an itty bitty little shield. But it can transform into certain things depending on the situation and whatever he decides to do. It's really cool. He's a total badass. Watch it. It's really.
This is a life lesson.
Really good.
If somebody gives you a small shield, you do the best of it because you stuck.
Yeah. But it's good. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm also kind of a sucker for like the fantasy video game-esque kind of worlds. There's so many animes like that. There's so many animes that just start. It's like I think there's one that's called like the Death March in a Parallel Universe or something like that. Ooh. Where the guy's he was programming something. And he stayed up really, really late at the office one night, and he like fell asleep. And when he fell asleep, he woke up, and he was in an alternate world, and it was all fantasy. And then it was like magic, and I mean it's
magia.
I don't know, but it's popular, and they're like all of them start the same way. Everyone's in the real world, and they either go to sleep or they die in the real world, and then they wake up and they're in this fantasy world. Like the time I got reincarnated as a slime, another wonderful anime. Starts with him just dying in the beginning, in the real world, and then he's in this fantasy world, and it's really awesome. Like that's a really, really good anime as well. Like 10 out of 10.
What about that Goblin one?
Goblin Slayer.
Wait, did you finish, right?
That I did not. I'm only on episode 5.
Why?
Because that is an edgy anime. Oh my gosh, it pushes the boundaries. It is a mature anime. At least like Shield Hero or Slime, you could show. Well, I wouldn't really show Slime, but like Shield Hero, you could kind of watch with some like a younger audience, kind of. Goblin Slayer.
I mean, only like the first episode and like maybe like midway through you can see some stuff, but. I mean, throughout the anime, it kind of like
there are people my age that won't watch Goblin Slayer because of the first episode.
I mean, the opening. If you watch this anime, just watch the first episode. Just
the first episode. Yes, watch it alone. But it gets way better after that. Like the first episode is like scarring. Like it's a lot. But then after that, it calms down a little bit. It's really more violence than it is anything else. But yeah. Sorry, I don't think I talked to you about that before, so I just felt like bringing that up. So Rage 2 is coming out in 5 days, as it turns out. I don't know how you feel about Rage.
Did you play the first one?
I did not. I don't know anything about Rage. The comment section. I hope you don't just destroy me.
It was a good game. The ending, those type of endings where you just kind of like look back and like, all right, I spent a lot of time on this game. I mean, it was a relatively good game. It's kind of like molasses. Either you like it or you don't. You know, like grits, I guess.
Like grits.
Bringing work into this. But I don't know. It's just one of those things where I enjoy the game a lot. But it just, my dog's barking. Apologize about that. He says hello. Oh, it's actually my girl dog. Bark, bark. Okay, so the next game we want to talk about is Mario Maker.
Yeah, well, Super Mario Maker 2 is coming out.
I never played the first one.
You didn't really?
No.
I mean, I didn't either, but I watched.
But I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I mean, you just make worlds for. Well, actually, I want to say I don't want to just say Super Mario because it's all of the Mario games. It's like you can play as like more modern Mario, or you can play as like little 16-bit, whatever you would call that, Mario, and you just make levels. It's fun just for that,
Giggles.
I guess, giving yourself kind of like, if you liked playing Super Mario, now there's really like an infinite amount of levels that you can play again. I don't know that you played.
I've seen. Sorry, we'll go back to Mario. I've seen some like super creative like Mario levels where like I think it was this one guy and every time he did something happened, of course. But like, so he'll like step on something and the floor will fall. Like he specifically had to land on somewhere, and he recorded his reaction of playing the game.
Yes, I do. I know what you're talking
mad
about.
Over and over again until he beat it. But oh man, it was the most hilarious reaction video that I've ever seen when it comes to Mario games. Because I mean, he knew he was about to finish it, and like something would like fall, fire would pop up, or some random enemy would show up, and he would just randomly just die. You know, and I think those Mario Makers, I think they became a lot more. I think Nintendo should really look at some of these levels, because I mean, I know because like most of these games are built for kids. I mean, let's be honest.
Yes.
But I think most of the time, majority they want to build games more for the adult audience, but I think they made games a lot easier. I think Dark Souls is probably one of the fewer games that I would say that was remotely harder than most games, just because
just a little bit.
But there was that one guy that beat it with like using a bunch of different controllers that he built, like a Guitar Hero with the guitar, the drum sets. I mean, he built a bunch of different remotes, just making us look like chumps. You know, can you beat with a remote? Let me just beat it with the guitar.
I told someone that I'd never played any Dark Souls games before, so they let me borrow Dark Souls 1 to play it. And I was like, okay, this is going to be one of those games that I'm going to try really hard to understand, and I'm going to go as long as I can without dying, which is a stupid thing to say in Dark Souls, because you're going to die a lot, unless you're just really, really good at the game, and I was not. I had never played it before.
Oh, you really just don't play it. You can't lose if you can't play it.
True. Well, I decided to play it.
Oh, there you go.
So, I played the game for 15 minutes before I died, and then I gave the guy his game back because
sounds like me and Borderlands 1.
The way I died, had it been just like a regular fight and I just lost, that would have been fine. But it was just a moment where like the moment I saw the enemy, I immediately pressed the button to attack. But he was already halfway through with his animation to attack me. So once I took one step forward, he just brought his sword down on me and just killed me. I mean, literally, like, whenever I turned and saw him, his sword was up in the air like this. So I just went to attack because I thought, maybe it's, like, slow. No, he went, hunk, and I was it. I was dead. That was the end of that.
It's like remember Assassin's Creed, what is that, Anubis? But anyways, you're like level 20 or something, and this like big theme pop up. It was like level 43, 48, middle of the desert, Do you remember? An Odyssey? Or was it
Well, are you talking about one of the? They did like weekly events where like a certain boss would show up.
Yeah.
I never did any of those.
Really?
No, because I was not very strategic in that game at all. I played Odyssey like you would play a normal Assassin's Creed game.
Straight through.
Where you go in and you're like, I can kill everyone.
Okay.
Like,
well, I mean, during
Odyssey, I did this. There was those hunters that would come after you. The ones that were always like level 40.
Yeah.
So I beat most.
My bad.
I was
thinking about Origins, not Odyssey.
You know, it's funny that you say that because I've been thinking Origins this whole time too. We were just saying Odyssey.
Yeah.
So
Odyssey,
we're still
on
the same page. We were just saying the wrong thing.
Game. Odyssey, I bought it for the PC, but I played for a little bit because of the graphics, but I beat Origins.
Yeah, I beat Origins on Xbox. I have Odyssey on Xbox.
I had
too.
a lot of time. I wish I would
played
started streaming
Odyssey for a while. I didn't get too terribly far. Origins, however, at like level 20 or so, I decided to make it my challenge to beat the level 40 hunters at level 20, and I did it. And I actually did it pretty easy. Honestly, I would just
a lot of arrows.
No, because I mean, that 20 level difference, your arrows made no difference at all.
Bring it with the Somali level 50 crocodiles.
No, I would just take them up somewhere high and
just
make them fall.
Oh, fall damage.
I would do that a lot because the fall damage was equal to their level, not mine. So I would just take them up somewhere high and then knock them off and just watch them fall and die. There was one moment where I was attacking this one guy and 2 level 40 like lions or something came after me, and so I just hopped out of the way and got on a ledge that the lions couldn't get to and let him fight. And then he died. And I just went and picked up his stuff. And that was that.
There was one map that I was playing on, and I was going through everybody. I was arrow, headshot. I mean, I actually have it on one of my YouTube channels, videos. And, I mean, I was up there for a good 20-30 minutes trying to get strategically kill everybody. So I just have, like, the boss or whatever left over.
Yeah.
Something happened. I slipped or somebody saw me, but ended up dying. And I was so frustrated at that point. I was like, you know what? I'm done. After that, I went straight through the gates, killed the guy, just left. I was like, I'm not going to spend another 30 minutes here. I wish I started streaming more on Twitch back in June when I was pretty much home the entire month of June. And I did do a little streaming on YouTube, but I mean, the traction of it didn't work so well. But definitely it's got a lot better since then on other platforms, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, did I mention what was I going to say? Borderlands 3. I saw some of the gameplay for it. It looks really good.
Really?
Looks really good. Did you play 2 or 1?
I played 1. Okay. So I played 1 when I
almost want to bring the other controls so we can play 2.
I was pretty young when I played Borderlands 1. I beat it, and then later on ended up playing with someone who ended up giving me like a bunch of like modded alien weapons. There's a lot of games where that happens, where you'll play online, somebody has a modded weapon, especially like back like Xbox 360 days.
Yeah.
Huge problem.
I love my 360.
So I would then just play the game, and I didn't. Little, I guess, like 12-year-old me thought it was so fun that like what are they called, a skag or something like that?
Skags, yeah.
Yeah, the skag. They would like run at me, and I'd shoot them with this alien weapon that does like 2 billion damage, and they just pop like a little red balloon.
Your screen would just do this.
Yeah, and so. But then Borderlands 2 came out, and I guess I had just gotten so used to one-hitting everything that Borderlands 2 came out, and I actually struggled a little bit to fight. And so little 12-year-old me was like, no, I don't like this. And so I never played it again. I have Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel actually downloaded on my Xbox. I just haven't played it yet.
It's such a good game. I played it in like hours. And then they introduced the modded weapons, which I ended up using for Borderlands 2, which later on they will introduce. Through hackers and stuff like that, or whoever created them. But there was a lot of people that were using that as thank you for the alert, Chelsea, appreciate it. There's a lot of people that with great power, I guess, comes with great responsibility because they were able to create these amazing weapons and that did so much damage that you could one shot pretty much any boss in the game at that point. Because every time you beat the game, it got harder and harder.
Yeah.
And to a point where like your weapons in itself wouldn't get harder, it just they would have more HP, so it would just take you longer to beat them.
Yeah.
But what I was saying earlier, that as people learn how to create modern weapons, it also created weapons that were corrupted. So a lot of these players would find players like me or like other people that would want these weapons that didn't know how to actually build them or make them, and they were actually corrupting people's game files on purpose. So a lot of people lost a lot of their files because of this one weapon. And they finally Borderlands they did like this patch one day that it didn't allow you to keep those weapons, and because the trick was if you were to grab the weapon and put it in your locker, then when you open your locker the next time you play it, then it'll be in your locker.
Yeah.
So that's why you were able to save. Excuse me. That's why you were able to save the weapon itself without actually it leaving. And the way they would duplicate is that you would drop your weapon and then you would disconnect, and then the weapon would stay there. And since it didn't save, you were able to keep your weapon the next time you load up.
Yeah.
So that was a way for you to do it, and they would do it for you. Then at that point, they would have both. They will have the weapon. So you kind of were able to tell who had the corrupted modded weapons because they would drop it and they just wouldn't come back to get their duplicate of the same weapon. And you can virtually do that with any weapon in the game. So you found something that was nice, that was a one way to duplicate it. But definitely there's some terrible people in the world sometimes, and then game save files. I mean,
you're not supposed to mod the weapons to begin with.
Well,
you're supposed to play the game legit.
Yeah, you play the game. I play the game legit. I played it a couple times, but when you get to a point, like a little extra juice. But I don't know. It's just, I guess it's life.
I can't argue with that because like Dead Island. I
have the game and never beat it.
I played Dead Island I played Dead Island for a while, and I had it on 360, and it did the same thing where like I would play with certain people and they would give me a baseball bat that would absolutely obliterate any zombie that got near me.
I didn't know that was in there. Wait, you told me about this.
Yeah. So I guess the zombies would zombies would get like, I mean, you would literally like, you would smack them and you'd watch them just fly away. Or if you were indoors, you would smack them and it would still do enough damage to kill them. It would do like a crap ton of damage. Well, they released Dead Island Definitive Edition for the Xbox One, I think PlayStation as well, probably PC, which came with a mode called One Punch Mode, where if you picked up weapons, the weapons did normal damage. But if you just punched a zombie, you were modded. You would punch them and it would catch them on fire. It would electrocute them and send them flying. Or if you kicked them, you would do that. But sometimes it's bugged. Sometimes you'll walk up to a zombie and you'll punch them and it won't do it. It's not common at all. Like 95% of the time it'll do it. But every now and then you'll have the moment where you walk over to a zombie, you're like, screw this zombie, you go, and the zombie just smacks you. And you're like, okay, sorry. But
well, I guess that didn't One Punch Man me.
But there's zombies in Dead Island are called thugs, and they're really tall and they're really buff. Whenever they hit you, it actually like sends you flying. So it sucks walking up to those. And you're like, ha! And you hit it, nothing happens, so it smacks you and sends you flying away instead. And then you have to get up, you have to go and punch them again.
Do they
and
also
happen.
have the One Punch perk?
No.
They should.
No.
That would be even
it's
more...
It's not based off of that.
I mean, that would be dope, though. They have, like, the same powers, you know? Because, I mean, at that point, you're like, who's going to punch first?
That would suck. You would just die all the time.
It'd be like a Dragon Ball Z movie just right there where it happened.
Well, that would be such a problem because sometimes you get surrounded by, like, 5 zombies. You can only punch a couple of them at a time, so...
Punch the floor.
No, that doesn't work.
Yes. I've seen an anime. It works all the time.
So Jedi: The Fallen Order is coming out later this year, which already has gotten a decent amount of backlash. I don't think it's going to be bad. That could just be my hopes.
Star Wars games that is just the story. I love it.
Yeah. So single player Star Wars games so far have proven to be at least okay.
We give it a 8 out of 8.
The only thing is that they took so the people that are making it took two different companies. They took, I believe, BioWare is the ones that came with like Knights of the Old Republic, really good single player games. Well, they used BioWare to make the new Battlefront games, which I don't know if you've heard. People don't like them very much. I played them. I thought they were cool. It felt a lot like just I was playing like a Star Wars movie. Like it's all the graphics are great.
Yeah.
And it's Star Wars, so it's awesome. But I guess for people who played it a lot, they got tired of it. So they took BioWare, the single player company, and made them make the Battlefront games. And now they're taking I think it's Respawn, which is good at least okay at making multiplayer games. They're working with them to make the single player game. So people are getting a little bit upset about that because they're saying that they should have, worked with what everyone was comfortable with. But it looks cool.
The graphics on it looks really good. I would say though, and I don't know if this is a theory or somebody find out or somebody leaked it, that the storyline is no more than 4 to 5 hours long. Like it's really short.
The Fallen Order?
Compared to like most games nowadays,
well,
which is okay though but I mean, like, are they gonna have it full price? I mean, I'm pretty sure they are. I mean, it looks really good, but
it makes sense not to.
But I guess also that also depends how fast. Because I mean, I played a game that's meant to be a 10-hour game and extended it to like 3,000. Let's just say. I mean, but it just depends how much. It depends how much time and effort you want to put into the game. So I was like, or how fast you want to go with the game. There's games that I'm still yet to pass that I bought 10 years ago, which now I guess now you can consider that being a 4-hour game into 10 hours. Still, maybe I'll get to it. At one point.
Well, it's like the situation with like with Destiny 1. So
that was a very short story.
Destiny, it is a very short story, except for when you played it the first time because you had to grind so much just to get good enough to play the next level.
The grind was definitely a lot better.
So the story, although after like the Taken King and everything came out, you could beat the main or like the original story in like 2 hours. It was super quick
if you play with friends,
right?
But I tried playing the storyline for the newest one, and
Destiny 2.
Yeah, Destiny 2, but the new expansion.
Oh, Forsaken.
Yeah, and I had a friend that was playing with me, and I mean, the first couple of minutes, whatever, it was just like he was smashing everything. I was just kind of like in the background, just kind of like, all right, well, I guess I'll just stand back here. It felt like the Hulk in Avengers for a second, like, oh, smash, which
careful. I know you already did this. Remember? So I don't know. I think the new Star Wars game, I think it could be great. I haven't looked into it very much at all. I haven't read up on it. So I can't say for sure. I just know that I've heard that people are getting, I guess, confused why they're swapping teams that are, I guess, specialized in making certain types of games, and they're just kind of like moving them around.
I think they're just trying to better what they originally had.
Yeah.
Or just enhance what they had already. I mean, with video games and movies, as you can tell with like even Sonic, there was a lot of internet backlash of how Sonic looked, and they're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna rework it and have it ready in 6 months, which in theory I think it's not going to be ready by the time it's supposed to be ready.
I think it'll be fine.
I mean, I believe it could come out when it's supposed to. But, I mean, we've seen this with games and movies before where they delay them for whatever reason.
Crackdown 3.
I mean, there's a lot of games nowadays.
Year and a half later.
Kingdom Hearts, that took, 10 years to come out? I'm still yet to play it. But, I mean, they already come with DLCs like that. Even then, like, people played it and they were kind of like, about it. I don't know.
You got the next Pokemon game coming out. Sword and Shield. Coming out later this year. Supposedly.
So if we talk about it here and there and on the channel, but we're big avid Pokemon Go players.
Yeah, we play
I started playing since day one when they came out. I've had the same account since day one, and I've had my breaks where I stopped playing. So I think if I would have kept playing the way that I was, I would have hit 40 a long time ago. Currently sitting at 34, and the game came out 2016 or so.
I've been playing since day one as well. The only problem was that my account, I used an email that wasn't necessarily I don't want to say it wasn't mine because it was for me, but it was under a different administrator. So after a while, the administrator just deleted the account, which deleted my Pokemon Go account. So I had to start over. And that was early 2018 when that happened. So I had to start over in 2018. I'm level 33. So I'm right behind you.
And I started
you were level 33 last week.
In 2017, I caught my last one. My last Pokemon caught was in 2017, around December. Then I stopped playing for 6 months. In 2018, I was hospitalized.
Yeah.
So I was in the hospital, and I happened to have a Pokestop right next to me, next to my hospital bed. So where I was there for the week or two, I spent the same Pokestop over and over again. Caught the same 3, 4, 5 Pokemons just every hour. When I got out, were you already working there, or you started working once I got back?
When did you get out?
I came back in July.
It was a little bit after that.
Okay,
so end of October or end of August.
I was still playing a little bit after I got out. I started playing more on my console. But when he started working there, I reintroduced him, I guess, to Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
In a sense where we both started playing, and we're 30 days away from becoming best friends in Pokemon Go. Which is a huge achievement because it takes a
really long time to get there.
And I think we could have already gotten by then, but you have to send gifts to each other on a regular basis. Not only that, you have to almost strategically open a certain day. Like if you open,
if you want to get the XP in a way that benefits you most.
Yeah, like if I send you a gift and you open it that day, then I have to wait for opening your gift the next day. And that's how you alternate and actually make that work a little bit faster. Because if you open and send a present the same day, they both count for the same day. So you can kind of alternate it in a way where it does benefit you for both. Because once you pop that lucky egg, you can get 100K. I think with best friends, 200K.
Yeah.
Because then
we get 200,000 experience.
So we really need to strategize.
Which still wouldn't even level me up now.
Yes, but what I was getting by Pokemon Go news, definitely that Shiny Ape-Bomb is on the loose.
Yeah, Shiny Ape-Bomb's live because of the Detective Pikachu event that is going on. Oh, I don't know the end date. It went live Monday. It went Tuesday. It was Tuesday. Yeah, it went live Tuesday. I don't know when it ends. I really don't. All I know is that we have a friend who just started playing Pokemon Go literally on Tuesday, and on Wednesday he had Shiny Ape-Bomb, and that upset me a lot because I've been checking it since the start of the event with no luck. However, Shiny Roselia, that's nice. I got 2 of those.
So,
Took me.
So earlier, we were at a eating, and a Shiny Roselia appeared at where we were eating at, and it flee.
It ran away.
He was like, "Oh, it's my third one, whatever." Blah,
I was
blah,
like,
blah.
"Okay, cool, I got a third
And
Shiny Roselia."
He flicked the ball and
threw
they
the ball
hit
in.
it and just ran away. And I was like, you know what? That sucks.
I was like, they're all right.
But he
And
has to,
I
you know,
thought-
you can evolve one.
I thought shinies were 100%
Catchable?
catch.
Oh.
It just ran away from me.
I don't think so. That's
Uh.
trainer tips because he's gotten like AR pictures. So he's trying to do before they introduce a snapshot
Yeah.
into it. Back then you have to use AR.
Yeah, take a screenshot through
they
your
were literally run away while he was trying to take AR pictures. He was actually trying to catch a Tropius, which is one of the regional Pokemon that has like the banana on its neck.
Yeah. Dang it! I still don't have that one.
Yeah.
I gotta get over there.
Yeah. One day we will travel that way.
Maybe.
Yes.
It'll take time. Jesus.
And he went to take an AR picture. The thing ran away. He later on ended up catching one, but after that, he was like, you know what? I'm just gonna catch it and just figure out later.
No, you can't. So that's good.
Yeah, there you go. So, on next news, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. So, does this stay true to the original, or just like a remastered version of it? And why is there a?
This is a good question. I know what you're about to ask. The picture that we're looking at. There's not a way for me to widescreen it. Picture we're looking at has one of those little chain chompers from Mario.
Yeah. Chomper. Chain chomper.
Tropical.
Notorious.
It is a remake of the Game Boy version, or the Link's Awakening, I guess, came out on Game Boy.
Yeah.
I don't know the little chomper thing. I don't really know anything about that. What else is
I'm
coming
excited
out?
for that,
Doom Eternal.
I haven't heard anything about it. That's the first time I see it.
And
I did play the original Doom where you can do like God mode and just basically we were actually, you remember you know the Boys and Girls Club?
the Boys and Girls Club.
Boys and Girls Club. Like the place Boys and Girls
Oh
Club.
yeah, okay.
So I used to go there like in the afternoons and some during the summer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kind of keep it distracted or whatever. They had a lot of computers there, and I was playing video games at the time also. So I installed Doom on all the computers. So all the kids were pretty much like in the I guess computer time playing Doom at that time, and instead of like at the pool or outside or doing whatever. And so I found out like a cheat code where you can put like God mode and you basically become invincible. And then there was another with like a teleporter. You got God mode, and you just punch everything, shoot everything. I mean, you just like.
I have Doom 1 and 2 installed on Xbox One because I downloaded the 2016 remaster of Doom.
Yes.
Reboot. Not a remaster.
That
reboot.
was the last Doom
but
game that
Doom
I played.
Eternal is the sequel to 2016's Doom. I think I'm a part of a club for it.
A Doom club?
Yeah, like a Doom club.
I bet
but
it's-
it's
I bet
running
it's
through
Doom.
Bethesda.
I bet it's Doom.
Why do you do this to me?
Doom dust. It's your go leader. Ain't no Doom about it.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
But I know that Doom was a ton of fun. It's pretty fast paced. Dying Light. That's
Play the
the
first
game that I was talking
I
about.
have the first
the
one.
weird like parkourish game.
Yeah, it's
zombie
weird.
apocalypse game.
I had a friend that was actually taking me through the game. He ended up giving me a bunch of stuff that I needed. Gears 5? Never played it.
By the way, we are on GamesRadar.com looking at the top games coming out in 2019. So we're kind of scrolling through and just looking at the games that are coming out. So Dying Light, whenever I played it, I thought it was pretty fun. Dying Light 2 is coming out at some point.
I played the first one. I liked it. I mean, I didn't really get into it. I had a friend that was killing everything for me, so I didn't actually get to like enjoy the game, I guess, per se. I kind of just enjoyed whatever he was doing, and that's pretty much it. Like, he just gave me a bunch of stuff that I needed, and I leveled up quick, and I was like, okay, well, yeah.
So,
yeah.
But Gears of War 5 is apparently coming out soon. We don't... I guess we don't know if it's coming out in 2019. I can't believe that they are still making Gears of War games. Not because they're bad, but because, gosh, they've been coming out forever. I don't even remember when the first Gears of War came out.
Must have been a baby.
It was a while ago. Jesus.
We have to share a keyboard. This is life.
So,
we have our own mouse and stuff. What? Moving on up. I played the first one, like the first mission. I was like, I don't like this game. Not that it was bad, like graphically.
2006. It came out in 2006.
When really?
Yeah.
When I graduated.
That is, gosh.
Make the math. I'm only
came out a while ago. It and they're still doing it. They're still going.
Did you ever play Bulletstorm?
No. Bulletstorm. Is that the one that's kind of like Overwatch?
No. Well,
Okay,
I know what you're talking about, but no, it's not that. Bulletstorm is like, it has like a lash thing. He like hooks, brings him. Also, he has a sniper.
Scorpion. Oh, okay. You
Oh,
said
no.
sniper now. Come on. Not Mortal Kombat.
It kind of looks like the lashes from like Iron Man. You know that guy? Iron Man. It's like,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The Mandarin? No. Iron Man 2.
And
Moving on.
Yeah. And it's kind of like that, but he uses it like he grips him, brings him, and kicks him and stuff like that. But yeah, what I liked about it the most, he had like the sniper rifle, and he would shoot, but then you would control the bullet. So
okay.
Yeah, shoot a bunch of people. It was actually pretty dope. The mechanics of the game. I think they ended up coming out with a part 2, but I don't think it did so good.
Bulletstorm. Oh, okay.
See, it has a little lasso thing.
Yeah.
But,
so I'm, as an Xbox player and not a PlayStation player, I don't have anything against PlayStation. I just can't afford one.
Donate now.
I know that I watched gameplay of The Last of Us when it came out forever ago, and as far as I know,
haven't played it.
It is a very big PlayStation game. Like, people really, really like it. I completely understand why, because whatever I watched just kind of like the beginning part, means the gameplay and all that stuff. It's awesome. It looks really cool, and the second part was announced, I want to say E3 last year. It was either E3 of 2018 or 2017. They announced it a while back, but I don't know that. Did it come out already? No, it couldn't have come out already. That doesn't make sense. I would have heard more about that. But
well, I mean, it's in the coming out games coming up.
Well, I know, but
section.
I don't know if it's coming up this year or not.
The character in it though, she looks a lot like the girl from Juno. Like a lot. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
And I don't know if Ellen Page is her name. I forgot it.
Give me the mouse real quick.
Yeah.
But you're right. It does look a lot.
And I think she had brought it up somewhere, or at least mentioned it. And she's like, "You know, that kind of looks like me." And again, thank you everybody coming by today. This is the Squid Squad podcast. Definitely going to be a weekly thing. Most likely not landing on the same days. Has to do with our schedule. Majority of the time it's going to be this time, where there's less background noise and everything. And so except for my dog, who was barking earlier.
Dogs are dogs.
Dogs are dogs. I love dogs. Dog lovers. I have a cat too, and they used to have a guinea pig. Rest in peace, Gizmo. Anyways, as you can tell, cats. Meow. Even though you're allergic to cats, aren't you?
I am allergic to cats. Yes.
I am also allergic to cats, dogs, anything that has fur and stuff like that. But I have, like I said, 2 dogs that shed. My cat sheds, and I used to have a guinea pig that was.
I do not have any animals right now, just because I'm too busy. But I used to have a cat.
Meow.
Back whenever I lived with like my dad and everything. But
fun fact, I don't like cat paws. Like the giant cat paws. Cat paws are fine. Like, meow. But like giant cat paws freaks me out.
What are you talking about?
You don't like the cosplay like big cat paws?
Oh yeah.
They freak me out.
Why do they? They're just paws.
I don't know. Even talking about it's making me a little anxious right now. I was like, no. I thought you were about to be like, yo, I got like 2 right here. Let's go. I knew this all along.
Oh, you mean
cat 5?
That would
cat 5.
That would be why? Why of all things?
I do not know why it freaked me out. Snakes, behind a cage are fine. Behind a plexiglass or what?
Snake would probably get out of the cage.
Which actually brings me to another story that I saw earlier today. So there was these 2 boys, right, and they created like this trap to like I guess collect snakes or have pet snakes, finding snakes or whatever. So grab like this long tubing. Don't try this at home unless you want to, and then record it and send it to me. Just kidding, don't do that. So anyways, they got like this lawn hose and make like this like mud puddle thing, whatever. They put the hose in the thing, and then they connect it to like a gasoline jug almost. And then they put like a little baby chick inside of it. Yeah, it's. Anyways, and so then the snake just kind of crawls through and goes through the tubing inside of the little container thing.
Yeah.
Disclaimer: the baby chick, did not die. She was just kind of like in there, like, yo, what's up? Like, I'm not even doing anything.
Yeah.
So they take Torchic out. Anyways, and so then they have the snake inside this container, and I'm thinking it's like, well, maybe they're gonna like cut its head off or something, whatever. They grab because it has 2 openings and the top with a little lid, whatever.
Yeah.
So they grab like the snake. I was gonna say snake butt, snake tail, but then like the snake on the other side, because there's 2 holes at this point. So it's like peeking out, just doing this, and I'm thinking like they're gonna snap it whenever it comes out. They don't do anything. The snake it comes out. So then like the snake's just kind of going crazy at this point. It's pissed off. I can tell. And I'm thinking it's like, are they trying to like just like, collect it, grab it, take the poison out? Yeah. I don't know. They have a little stick, and I've seen this with other snake handlers, and this looks like a V. And they put that on the ground, and they usually hold the snake head on the ground itself, and then that's when they go and grab it. So at this point, like they're trying to do that, like they're just trying to grab it, and the snake ends up like pretty much just leaving. Like they went to this whole effort to catch it, and then it pretty much escapes, and then they don't even have it afterwards. And I doubt it were. I mean, there was a huge disclaimer like, do not try this at home.
Yeah,
but it was also the same people that the guy grabbed like a coconut. He cut the top, and he put like a plastic bottle on the inside, and the snake, or not snake, what's the snake? Big fish went inside of it, and when they cut the coconut open, the fish was inside of it, and that's how they used to fish, and then catch prey, I guess, to eat later or release or play with or whatever.
Interesting.
So anyways, we went into how did we even get to the topic of snake?
I don't know.
Oh, cat paws went to snakes. Cat paws? I've always been like just kind of like freaked out by them. They're just like big cat paws.
You're a guy who's obsessed with squids, buying really, really big squids, but cat paws.
Cat paws just freak me out.
That's where he draws the line.
I mean, I collect a little bit of everything. So squids, octopus, Pokemon stuff, Overwatch. This was a Halloween costume, sort of. Which I was watching Lucifer yesterday, and the thing like falls on me, freaked me out. But not as much if it was a cat paw. That would have really freaked me out.
If it was a cat paw, you
Like that. First of all, why would there be a giant cat behind the couch? Hi, Con.
Right.
I planned this all along.
Oh gosh.
Oh man. Fun times. Ending notes.
Ending notes. Yeah. So I don't know exactly how we wanted to keep this one about an hour long. I don't know how long we'll keep it in the future. I guess it's up to you guys whether you want it to be longer or shorter. It's up to you. It's up to what you like. We are willing to do 2 hours. Our first actual run at this is kind of like episode 1.5 because the first time we recorded like a 2-hour podcast, there was just way too much background noise. There was just so much going on that we couldn't do much with it. But it was 2 hours long. It got a little slow towards the end, which is why we're trying to keep it nice and like short and sweet.
Basically, if we have a lot to talk about, as you can tell, a lot of our conversations kind of we are just rambling, which is naturally what we do at work and outside of work. We usually do our Sunday dinners almost, and we kind of just sit around and talk about work day, video games coming out, Pokemon Go, stuff that just happens in general chat or stuff like that, Discord, Facebook or whatever. So he came out with the idea like, hey, why don't we create a podcast? And this pretty much what that
just fell
under. So I was like, we already do this already, and we're good at talking to each other.
Yeah.
And so definitely, as you can tell, we talk about a lot of random stuff. So definitely in the future, there's going to be more structured, I guess. But as it is, like I love the randomness of the Squid Squad podcast. And there's some side notes. So future, I'm working on like how do you call it? Subscriber perks, I guess. And one of them, I was trying to do some more, I guess, merch or whatever. So we do have, and I'm gonna do some redesigning on this to have it vary from Squid Squad and Squid Squad podcast and Bearded Squid and everything. So we do have this little like Squid Squad cozies. If you just wanna buy one, like let me know. Has the Twitch in the back. So I think I'm gonna redesign this. So I'm gonna have the Squid Squad here, and then once you subscribe in the back, I'm gonna work or get Cricut. What's it called?
Yeah, Cricut machine.
My own Cricut to make these and actually have your Twitch name right here. So I think that'd be pretty cool for you to represent the Squid Squad for sure, and also represent your own logo here too. So it'd be a little bit of both. But that's for future subscribers, and so I've definitely looked at some perks for that too. But thanks for much for tuning in, and definitely this is a lot of fun. I can see it, like Church was saying earlier, that our first kind of podcast was a lot longer. We definitely had a lot more to talk about because Endgame, we just finished watching Endgame, so that had a lot of spoilers per se. But once I done with the edits, and we'll most likely post it as a 1.0 or 1.5. There you go. But this is the official Twitch podcast.
Official Twitch podcast, yeah.
Twitch podcast, whatchamacallit. Till next time, I guess. Next Thursday.
We will do another one. Do it every Thursday.
Unless we have to work, then we'll switch it up, but then I'll announce it.
Yeah.
But most likely on Thursdays around the same time. Till next time. It's always like the start and the finish is always like the how do we end this?
Yeah.
Because I still have to kind of like go this way. Anyways, this has been your Bearded Squid Inc. and
Extra Jack 789. Thank you for checking out the Squid Squad podcast. Definitely something new. Definitely something fun. We will get better at this, more like intro, outro, editing, stuff like that. Clearly, if you missed out on this or something like that, you can watch it later. Looking to post it on, I'd imagine, YouTube.
It will be on my YouTube, so just look up Bearded Squid Inc. on YouTube, and there, and it should be up. I'm gonna upload it right after this, and then it should be up there by, I guess, sometime this afternoon.
Yeah.
And so yeah. Till next time.
Boy. Lever squeak. Squeak.
We're just.
Make sure I finished.